with Ricardo Torres. Welcome again to the studio.
Thank you. The navigator.
The Navigator. I think that it's only in good taste that we, give a little salute out to our commander in chief and just have a little nappy poo. What? I don't know if anybody saw that.
Yeah.
With our whatever you want to call it, taking a nap there at the climate change conference where they all fly in on their private jets and put out so much carbon and
But it's like if you are one of the leaders there, you shouldn't. It's like
you shouldn't be falling asleep.
Yeah. No.
He should be the leader there.
Yeah.
I mean, but unfortunately, we've become a laughing stock. I think.
Yeah.
Everybody's just making fun of the whole scenario, and it's so silly. It's just comical because really they don't. Really, what's he even mean?
No,
he doesn't mean any. He doesn't even. He doesn't know what's going on.
No.
Everything that he signs is put in front of him.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what he's signing. He doesn't know where he's at. He's sleeping at this thing.
He falls asleep in front of everyone. It's like
and the big thing was he wanted to put his reconciliation package through, and you had Joe Manchin and Cinema. She's getting harassed in bathrooms.
Yeah.
Her daughter, I think it wasn't it?
Yeah.
At her wedding, they're like at her wedding.
Yeah.
These people are harassing. It's like, really? Can you imagine what the leftist media would do if the tables were turned?
Oh my gosh!
Can you imagine?
No.
Can you imagine if it was
they'd lose it?
The daughter of a liberal politician or whatever, and a bunch of conservative protesters showed up at they would lose their minds. Don Lemon would probably shit down his leg. These guys would just have. They would absolutely go nuts, and yet we don't hear anything about it except for a few places.
Yeah.
Really, you gotta mind your scruples a little bit. Have some decency.
I agree.
You're ruining this country. It's like, well, actually, maybe you might be behind that.
Yeah.
Why? Because she won't. Because she doesn't want to vote for this thing. It's like,
no,
and there's so much bullshit in it. There's so much pork.
It's still her vote. It's still her own mind.
Right.
She doesn't need anyone else to.
Yeah, and it's just like, just because these idiots think that what they're listening to on fucking CNN and MSNBC and all this shit. It's just a bunch of, and it's been proven to be garbage. Joe Rogan came out and called Don Lemon this week a stupid motherfucker.
Yeah.
And Joe Rogan I think he's got 200 million listeners.
Yeah.
How many do you think CNN gets? They got nothing.
Yeah.
They're just garbage. Nobody even wants to listen to what they have to say. There's Sleepy Joe.
Oh my God.
Well, they all fly in on their private jets. That's what's crazy. They want to go.
It's so embarrassing. It's like
the whole thing's an embarrassment. It really is. They all fly in. They all got their private jets. You watch John Kerry fly around the globe in his private jet. Okay, what kind of carbon footprint are you making there?
Yeah.
John Kerry with your big horse face head. It's just pathetic.
Yeah.
And there's really, I don't know, there's a couple voices of reason in the whole thing, but there's really not many.
Yeah.
It's pretty pathetic, man. It's just
and now that what's her name, the chief of staff, now she has COVID. It's Psaki.
Oh, Psaki does?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, she has COVID
Psaki's
now.
got COVID?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. I'll bet she's even more personable. I'm not sorry. God, she's got the temperament and the personality of a piece of shoe leather.
Yeah.
Now, what I said was a complete lie, and you need to listen to me.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's just so. They all just they all lie. That's the funny thing.
Yeah.
It's like they all lie. Every one of them. It's like there's not a single one of them really that does tell much of the truth. I think Rand Paul tries to. I think there's a couple that do. Bernie Sanders doesn't he? He's just, I mean, he's just a disheveled mess from Vermont that's
Yeah.
eating too many weed cookies.
Yeah.
I mean, oh, say that, waving his finger. It's like, what are you doing? You swatting bees? Are you directing the band? What are you doing here, dog? You know, he's going, what in the hell?
Yeah.
1% of the 10% of the 1% of the 1% of the 10% of the 1%. What?
You know, it's kind of funny because.
And he's the 1%.
Yeah, no, but it's funny because when we lived in Maryland, I never really liked him. So it's like, and my wife loved him back then, and it's like, why do you like him? And it's like, oh, well, he has some good ideas. I'm like, those ideas are not gonna get anywhere.
Well,
anywhere.
The thing is, too, is he's got these ideas, but then he breaks weak every time.
Yeah.
He runs for president, and all he is a stepping stone for the DNC's handpicked, whoever they want to put in there. He got run over by Hillary, and then he comes out and he backs her. He gets run over by Joe, and then Joe's his friend. I mean, instead of having some backbone and standing up and saying, you know,
hey,
fuck you, I'm not.
My idea, and I'll run it. It's like,
like instead of just, I mean, they asked him the last, you know, in the campaign, they asked him on, you know, mainstream media in an interview. They said, do you think Joe Biden can beat Trump? Now, if you're a candidate in the race, do you say, yes, I think so? Or do you say, no, Joe Biden can't beat Donald Trump, but I can? That's what you say.
Yeah.
He goes, oh, yeah, Joe. I mean, you could tell right then he was just taking the dive, you know. It's just like the prize fighter that's, you know, it's just like, you know, they give him the, and the guy just you know, glass jaw, gets socked, and down he goes.
Yeah, but I mean, he's so old now. It's like,
I don't think he's older than Joe, though, is he?
Yeah, he is.
Is he?
Yeah.
Joe's 78. How old's Bernie?
I don't know.
Has he hit the big 8-0?
I think so.
Has he? I have to look that up and see.
check.
Have to do a little fact checking on this one. Yeah, this has just been absolutely ridiculous. All this shit, you know, and then these people, you know, that got the memorandum that they put out. I mean, and I feel bad for the gentleman, not only the gentleman Scott Smith, but his daughter that was sexually assaulted at school by a boy wearing a dress in the restroom, and the school system just kind of shoo poo-poos it away. The man goes to the school board meeting. Now, if that was your daughter, what would you do?
Oh, I fucking lose
I would be, exactly. I mean, they were trying to act like it didn't happen. And here's what happened is they said that the kid that did it did, in fact, do it. They put him in another school, and he did it again. I mean, are you kidding me?
No.
This is what it's come to, man.
Yeah.
I mean, and they've blurred these lines. I mean, you know, we went through this with a bathroom issue at the middle school, and I tried to talk to the prosecutor about it because these girls asked my kid to go in the bathroom. He opens the door. They're burning something on the ground. He steps inside. He stomps it out. A lady comes in, sees him, calls the police. He gets a malicious mischief citation for it.
Okay.
And I sit down with the prosecutor, and I say, listen.
Yeah.
I said, you know, obviously he made a bad choice. I said, now, when I was his age, at 13, obviously we didn't have the cell phones.
Yeah.
But had I been walking down the junior high school hallway and some girls had opened the door and said, come, I would never have even, they were just like, you didn't even do that. That was not something that you would even think about doing. But now that they're like, anybody can go in anywhere and do, you know, I mean, it was ridiculous. They didn't have any proof that he did anything wrong. The only thing he did wrong was by sticking his head in there.
Yeah.
And what are you going to expect a 13-year-old kid to do, especially when at the middle school here, they got furries and just, I mean, I don't know if you know, I didn't even know what a furry was. I had no clue.
What is that?
They dress up and they act like animals, and it's a big it's a fetish type thing.
Oh my gosh!
Like the last time I was in San Diego, they had, the big Comic-Con thing was going on, and my ex-wife and I kept seeing these people dressed up like bunnies and cats and dogs and shit, and I was like, it's Comic-Con, okay, I get. And then I asked somebody finally, I said, what the hell's because they had a whole floor of the hotel. Like we were staying in this hotel that like we literally were the first guests in the room at this. I think it was a it was a Hilton. Oh no, it was a Marriott.
Okay.
Right in Little Italy in San Diego, and they had like a whole floor, and they were up and down the elevators and chasing one another around. And
Yeah.
I just thought, okay, this is some Comic-Con
Yeah.
nerd shit going on, whatever, you know. And then I asked somebody, they're like, oh, those are furries, and I'm like, what the hell?
So, yeah, what is
So they like have sex with each other in these outfits, you know, in these
It's like-
their bunny suits, and
Oh my
it's
God.
pretty fucking weird. So
yeah.
it's like you can't. I guess you don't see who's on the other side of the. I don't know if
No.
you guys stay in character the whole time. It's like little bunny foo and the field mouse getting. I
Yeah.
don't pretend to understand it,
No.
but they have that going on here in Cody, Wyoming. I mean, so I mean, how's a kid? I mean, how do you
Yeah.
know? Like, it, you know. I mean, to me, it's like. I
No,
mean,
it's
you
like-
can't argue biology.
yeah.
I'm sorry, and that's the way I see it, man.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, there is a very small percentage of individuals that are born as
Yeah.
you know what you call, I guess, a hermaphrodite, or
Yeah.
you know, but I don't care. It's like if you're a dude and you
Yeah.
want to be called Ann instead of Sam,
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah. Then
I don't
you're-
care.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever if that's what makes you happy and content in
Yeah.
life, and that's what you want, then fine. But it still doesn't change the fact that you're
Yeah.
that you're a dude.
Even if you get the
Yeah. Well, it's like
still you're a
watching
dude.
watching this shit with the MMA where you've got this dude that comes out and he's made
Yeah.
the transition, but yet he's made the transition after, you know, post puberty, and I
Yeah.
mean the facts are the facts is that a man after, you know, at that
Yeah.
age
It's a man.
you're gonna
Yeah.
be, I mean,
It doesn't-
much more strong than a female for the
Yeah.
most part. Now you do have your females that would beat the living shit out of you, like your Ronda Rouseys and stuff. But that's
yeah.
I mean, it you know, and they're going into weightlifting competitions, and I mean, you see these things going on with track. I mean, how would you feel if your daughter had worked her ass off all year, like at track,
Mm-hmm.
and then goes out there her senior year of high school, and she's got to race against, you know, an
dude,
18-year-old man, like 18-year man
Who?
that has transitioned. And is just
No,
yoked up,
it's
and I mean, there's
still-
no way
no.
that she's gonna compete
No,
with.
no way.
There's no way.
Yeah.
And then you watch them win, and they're prancing around like they've done something. It's like
No.
you know, I'm sorry, but
That shouldn't
you know,
be the
I mean,
case.
and I'm not being misogynistic here, but you know what I mean. There's things that women are good at. There's things
Yeah.
that men are good at, and there's a lot of great female athletes out there.
Yeah.
I'm not taking that away from any female athlete whatsoever. But I mean, all you got to do is look at.
Yeah. If you're a dude, then
Yeah, but I mean,
are a
it's like
dude,
look
no matter
look
what.
at the money that the NBA brings in. Look at the money that the WNBA brings in.
yeah.
Not saying that they're not good athletes. They are, and they're right. But you know, I mean, can you imagine sending LeBron out in a if LeBron transitioned and you send
Oh my
LeBron
God.
out at the WNBA? Oh my God, he'd score 200 fucking
Yeah.
points. You know, I mean, so you can't tell me
No.
that it's the same thing. It's apples and oranges. It's two different things.
Yeah.
And I don't give a shit. You can live your life however you want to. It's
Yeah.
not my business. I don't care. You want to cut your tallywhacker off and do get
Yeah.
get the whatever. Who knows? I'm probably saying things that are going to get me in trouble again.
No.
I don't know, man. It's just a crazy world, man. It's just fucking nuts.
no,
These people are
that-
absolutely out of their minds.
That's why I'm like, you know what? If they want to do whatever to their bodies, it's okay.
Sure.
But don't make
It's their
them
life.
compete because it's like
Right.
it's not even in the same league. It's like
It's not. Yeah, and especially at that. I mean, at that age, and then I mean, these people are having like 7-year-old kids. These parents are having these 7. I mean,
yeah,
a 7-year-old child is
doesn't know.
cannot make that decision.
No.
Cannot make that decision. I mean, and it's sad, but in the transgender community, there's a very high suicide rate,
Yeah.
and I really don't think that a minor child should
No.
you know, that just shouldn't. I mean, okay, the kid wants to wear the kid. Okay, you got a little girl. She wants to be a boy. What, you know? I mean, kids are like that too.
Yeah.
Like you know. I mean, my son liked the color pink when he was little.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, why would you let him wear that pink? You know,
Yeah.
that's a girl. I'm like, girl color.
It's
I'm like,
a
who
color,
gives a
yeah.
shit? It's a color. He likes it. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. What's it matter? And I was told him, I said, who cares? You know, people making fun. It's like if you like wearing it,
Yeah.
then you know. And I always told them, I said, tough guys wear pink.
Yeah.
Really? And I told myself, okay, I'll wear a pink shirt with you. I
No,
don't care. I don't give a shit.
No, it's like Javi.
I mean,
My younger son, he got some pants, but I think that the mom bought the pants for a girl, but she didn't know that it was a boy,
yeah,
and he likes those pants, so I don't have a problem. He wears those. I mean, he's
Yeah.
almost grown out of them, but it's like
it doesn't matter.
I don't mind. It's like
If he's comfortable, then he's
Yeah.
comfortable. And that's, I mean, you know, whatever. It's you're not sitting there like
No.
forcing
Oh
him
my
to.
God.
You're not going. Well, let's go to the doctor and get him
no.
on some.
Oh my god.
I mean, when you take a child and you alter their, you know, their biology before they
Yeah.
go through puberty, before they reach I mean, before they go through adolescence.
Yeah.
I mean, you are really. I mean, as a parent, you're kind of playing God
Yeah.
if you allow that to happen. And I wouldn't care how much the kid whined and cried about wanting to do it. It's
No.
like, nope. It's like, you know,
You've got to wait.
when you're
Yeah.
you know,
Once you turn
once
18,
you're an adult,
yeah.
then what you can do what you want to do. But you know, I mean, you can't just do that to a child. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's absolutely silly. I mean, and I think that a lot of it is the parents just
Yeah.
wanting attention.
No,
you know, and you've got these parents that, I mean, you know, we all want to bitch about millennials and shit like that.
Yeah.
We created them.
Yeah, no, but that's messed up that a parent wants attention and they use their child as a way to get the
right.
attention. It's
Yeah,
like,
as an instrument to perpetuate whatever it is they're trying to perpetuate. I mean, I don't know. Are you proud to walk
No.
around and prance around with a 7-year-old boy dressed up as a girl that you're putting through a sex change before they even hit? I mean, I don't think I'd be too proud of that.
no.
I mean, I don't. I mean, it's like, okay, if you want to play with dolls, and I mean, if the
Yeah.
kid wants to do, well, fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
But guess what? We're not going down this other route here until.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like you can't just do that. You're screwing a child up.
yeah,
I mean,
it's like
I mean, we are wired to go through those changes as we
Yeah.
grow. It's like, and you start playing God and messing with those things, and I mean,
yeah.
then you run into what we got here. Oh, there's Mr. Peanut Head, fucking Mitch McConnell. Anyway,
But you know, it made me laugh that Javi, all on his own, without me saying anything, he picked up his brother's cars and he started playing with them, and now he loves cars.
yeah,
It's like without me even opening my mouth about
Right.
it. It's like,
yeah,
No.
and that's the thing too. Is that, I mean, you know, boys and girls have
Yeah,
different
exactly,
they have
and
different tendencies.
exactly.
And sure, there's anomalies in there, and there's
Yeah.
I mean, there are I mean, I think children, you know, they experiment with, you know, like, you know, it's like, okay, you know, what's it like to be, you know, of the other side? I mean,
Yeah.
you know, it happens,
Yeah.
but
and
it's
that's
up. It's
fine.
part of growing too. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, you know, it's like I don't really like playing with dolls. I'm gonna go play with the cars. And vice versa, you know. I
Yep.
mean, I remember girls I was in school with that I mean, there's some I went to school with you didn't fuck with. I mean, you
Yeah.
know, I mean, and from young ages, I mean, they were right in the middle with all the boys, you know, and whatever. Hey,
Yeah.
you know, but they were not going to a doctor and getting
No.
taking hormones and having surgical procedures, and
Yeah. No, that's fucked up.
I mean, it's crazy.
Sorry, but it,
You
it
want
is
to do that
fucked
when
up.
you're an
Yeah.
adult. That's once you've grown and whatever. But
Yeah.
but then also, you know, if you're a dude, you can't go compete in weightlifting competitions.
No.
You can't go
No.
play. I mean, I remember when I was in prison, there was this guy up at it was at like Portland State or University of Portland.
Yeah.
The dude was like 50, and he'd transitioned,
Okay.
but he was huge. He was big, and dude, he was. I mean, he had black. I mean, dude, this guy, he had like it looked like sailor tattoo.
Okay.
I mean, like he was tattooed up like me.
yeah.
And he goes out there and like he's leading the league in rebounds. They're showing him he's out there. He's just beating the shit out of these fucking girls. You know, these are 18, 19,
Yeah.
20,
It's
21.
like, what the
This
heck?
guy's like almost 50, but he's just huge. You know, and I mean,
It's
and he's like leading the league in rebounds, and they're
Yeah.
letting him play. And it's like,
Yeah.
wait a minute, what?
Yeah,
in
it
the
shouldn't-
world? It's like, how the fuck or what the? I, mean, I would be
Yeah.
so pissed if
Oh,
my
yeah.
daughter was
Yeah.
playing in a college game against a
Against that
creature
asshole,
like
yeah.
that, and she's getting beat around,
Yeah.
and you know this guy's, you know,
And it's like, why on earth is he competing against her? It's like
Right.
he
and,
shouldn't.
and then acting like he's some kind of a great athlete, or
No.
she's acting like some kind of. It was the most ridiculous story.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just like, holy shit. I mean, like I said, I don't care. Do what you can do.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But there's got to be. You have to have some common sense.
Yeah.
You gotta
I
have
agree.
a little common sense. I saw another thing. There was a oh god, I can't remember what college it was at, and I should look it up. But it was a dorm, and they needed to bring in some guys to work on the HVAC.
Okay.
And so it was like transition females or whatever in this dorm. It's a special dorm, and I'm not gonna. I want to say Fordham, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
One of those type of schools. So the guys go in, right, to do the work on the HVAC. They're two guys. They throw an absolute fit that it was two men that showed up.
Why?
It's like,
It's
do you want the
Yeah.
want the heating and air conditioning to work, or do
Yeah.
you not? I mean, it's like these are, I mean,
Yeah.
the school makes a call, the company sends. Typically, you're
Yeah.
gonna have a couple guys
Yeah,
in a van show up.
exactly.
You're not gonna have like
No.
transgendered, like. I mean, what do you?
It's like-
what do you? Are you? You have to call a special company for that? I mean, and
I don't
these,
even think that
these
especially-
females are saying that they felt threatened, and how dare
Oh.
they do that? How dare they send us two cisgendered men's? That's what I guess is cisgender is what they call you if you're a man.
Oh my god.
And then and then you talk to females, man, and
Yeah.
I mean I get this all the time. Like, I show up somewhere, I got my trailer, I got tools,
Yeah.
I got know-how, I can fix it just about anything, and I don't know how many times I get to comment, and I help. I like to help.
Yeah.
Being a single father, I like to help single mothers.
Yeah.
I always do, because I understand what it's like.
Yeah.
I need help with things that I can't do
Yeah.
because I'm not a female. I mean, like,
Exactly.
and then so when females help me with the things that I'm not good
Yeah.
at, I'm appreciative of it. But and it's like, gosh, it's nice to, thank you,
Yeah.
and like, I don't know how many times I get that. It's like, gosh, it's nice to have a real man around.
Yeah.
And I've been places where you got two dudes that are sitting out back like drinking beer and shit, and I go over and help the I
Yeah.
don't know what they're doing. And it's like, what the hell's this? You guys don't know how to
Yeah.
do this shit? Like, but I mean, real men are they're disappearing. And it's like it's almost like a crime to actually be a man.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get this, you hear this from a lot of females. It's like, well, what's happening to all the men? And it's like,
Yeah.
well, look at them. They're wearing capri pants. They're carrying man purses around.
Yeah.
They're, if the zombie apocalypse
Yeah.
hits, man,
No,
lunch meat,
I swear.
lunch
Yeah.
meat. I mean, it's just crazy. It's a crazy world,
Yeah.
And then they talk about male toxicity and all this shit, and it's like, well, okay, male toxicity. All right, let's talk about how the hell we're doing this right here.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about the buildings we live in, the electrical
Mhm.
grid, the water and sewer, and
Yeah.
almost everything. It's been
Built by men.
and men work their asses off to make this whole damn thing
Yeah.
actually work. And yes, there are women in there
Yeah.
in the fields. I've certainly worked with plenty of women in the construction trades, but there's not a lot of
Yeah.
them. It's a minority. I mean,
No,
and
because-
it's not anything to do with anything other than
Yeah. men
females
are
don't
built
want those
different.
jobs.
Yeah.
that's not what that's by a lot. I mean, some do, and that's great.
Yeah.
I've worked with some females that, I mean, great hands, and I mean, no big deal. But, I mean, there's different roles, and,
Yeah.
and biology plays a big part of that, and it's like, to deny that is just absolutely,
Yeah. No, I agree.
it's ridiculous.
I agree 1,000%.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, if a female wants to go and do something, great, go do it.
Yeah.
I don't care. You want to go, be a Navy SEAL? Hey, awesome.
Yeah.
Go through it. Go do it. Great. I mean, as a female, you make it through, and
Yeah.
hey, awesome. I got no problem with
No.
that. But but predominantly that's
Yeah.
not the way that it's gonna
Yep.
go. You know, I mean,
I know.
it's like
I
that
agree.
movie G.I. Jane with remember who was that?
Yeah.
That what's her name?
Oh my
That was
god.
married to Bruce Willis and and Ashton Kutcher, Demi Moore.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, great. You know, I mean, it's just like
No,
it's
but
just crazy, man.
It's
I
just
mean-
funny because I had two boys and now I have a girl. It's like just getting into the whole mindset that it's gotta be different with her.
Yeah,
And thankfully I'm adjusting well, but it's like I mean I'm gonna go through some hard times too because it's like wait, this is for a girl. It's like
but she's she's gonna be tough though
yeah,
because she's got two older brothers.
yeah,
And then she's got two older brothers that are going to be looking out for her too
Yeah.
as she gets older
Oh,
too.
yeah.
So she's, so growing up with older brothers, I mean, she's, I mean, because it takes a while, I think, for kids to, I mean, I remember being a kid,
Yeah.
you'd have the girl when you're little in the neighborhood and you didn't, there was like, you didn't, I mean, I remember one girl that lived behind us, and she was always in the sandbox with us, and I mean, fighting and
Yeah.
you didn't, I mean, there was never like punches thrown or anything like that. Those
Yeah.
little kids, but I mean, you just it was like not a big deal because you don't understand at that age that
yeah,
there's any kind of a difference, and I mean, but as she grows older, and then the two older brothers, I mean,
oh yeah,
there won't be anybody messing with her.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
I mean, so yeah.
Especially Andrew, I mean, because he's 9 now.
Yeah,
so it's
yeah,
like-
oh yeah, he'll be. Oh god, yeah. When she's in high school, he'll be coming back from college.
Yeah,
And
oh my
don't
God.
mess with her. Yeah. I knew a number of girls like that that had a couple older brothers, and it's
Yeah.
like nobody messed with them, and
yeah,
and they also had a different kind of attitude about
Oh,
it,
yeah.
just because growing up with two older brothers. I mean,
yeah,
I mean, I'm the oldest of three, and I never really picked on my brothers or anything like that. They picked on each other, but I mean, there's I don't know.
I mean,
We
I
were
don't
always
know.
in the middle of
yeah,
stupid shit that just I mean, that a girl's not going to be in the middle of.
Yeah.
And so she'll be thrown in the middle of situations with both your sons.
yeah. No, but it's funny that Andrew is 9. Well, Javi's only like 3 and
Yeah.
9 months. So I think she'll be a lot closer to Javi just because they're
Right.
like,
And they're going
Same
to
age.
fight a lot
Yeah.
more too. They're going to be like, they're going to go at it.
Yeah.
I guarantee it. That's how my two younger brothers were. Those two just, I mean, it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. I think
oh, it's
I mean, it was weird because I mean, I was never like the older brother that picked on
Yeah.
either of them. I didn't do that, and but boy, they picked on each other. Anything that was broken in the house, it was 'cause of those two.
yeah.
Locking themselves in rooms, and the other one
Yeah.
beating down a door. And I mean, oh,
See, I
God.
only had a younger sister, so that's
Yeah.
all I knew. It's like,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
after we made it through the 7 or 8-year-old, when it's like when you're fighting, after that we became best friends, thankfully. So
Right.
it's like,
yeah. Family dynamics are weird,
Yeah.
man. It's really a weird thing.
but it was just funny because I ended up dating all of my sister's best friends, and she ended up dating all of my best friends. So it's like, what the heck?
Well, it's associations, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's
I
great.
don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like I said, family dynamics, man. It's weird.
yeah.
Yeah, I know. With three brothers, we did, and we didn't have a clue about females. We were
Oh my
we were so
God.
we were so dumb and awkward and just. I mean, it took me. I mean, it took me forever to even. Oh God, even start even talking to females.
Yeah.
But then once that happened, then
Yeah.
But I remember like in junior high, I was like, just, I mean, and like I watched my son,
Yeah.
and with having two sisters that
Yeah.
that aren't two half sisters. He's been around females, so he's
Yeah.
he's a little Casanova, which just I'm just like, oh God,
Yeah. No, it's funny because
Terrifying.
I dated like my sister's best friend when I was 12.
I love how when you're 12 you say dated.
Yeah.
My son was saying that last year. He's talking about he's dating her and this. I said, listen, first of all, you only got no money. Okay,
Yeah.
a date is like
Yeah.
you're taking somebody out to dinner,
Yeah.
a movie, what have you.
Yeah.
Like you're not dating anybody,
Yeah.
and neither are your friends.
Yeah.
You guys don't have a car. You don't
Yeah.
have anything. You got no money of your
Yeah.
own. Like you're not dating. It's like,
Yeah.
you're you know it's like it's the equivalent of when I was in grade like when you'd write a note say, do you want to go out with me? Check yes or no.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and then you'd make it into like one of those footballs and flick it
Yeah.
across the room, and
Yeah.
and then they'd either check yes or
Yeah.
no, and then you get back if it's yes, it's like, hey. And then you're like, now I'm going out with her, but you have
Yeah.
never done anything with
Yeah.
her. It's like, now we're going out, and then
No.
then you meet the girl.
Yeah.
I remember so many of those. Or it's like, then it's like, or there was a big, no, and then throw the thing at you. You're like, oh, and you're just devastated. But it was like, oh no, what's your name? They check the yes box. Oh, okay. Well, you don't know
Yeah.
anything about. You're just like a stupid ass kid with your hormones just raging,
Yeah.
just you know.
Well, yeah. I
Oh,
mean,
God.
technically, I dated, but it's like.
Yeah. It's no, at that age it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Oh God, what an awkward age. That's what I feel.
Oh, my
I feel
God.
for my son and his friends because
Yeah.
I remember and we didn't have social media.
Yeah, that's true. Oh my God.
That's got to
Oh
be.
my
Just, I
God.
mean, that's got to be just. I mean, that throws a whole nother monkey wrench in the whole thing because I mean,
Yeah.
I know I'm older than you, and I know
Yeah.
that we in when I was going through school, we were able to do dumb shit. Like we could do embarrassing things in
Yeah.
front of, say, a handful of people, and it didn't go viral. We
Yeah.
didn't walk into school the next
Yeah.
day with the whole
No,
place
it
just
was the same with
pointing
me.
and looking
Yeah.
at the phone and laughing at you, and then sharing it with everybody.
Yeah. No.
Now, I mean, these kids, they do one thing that,
everyone
and
knows
it
about
doesn't
it.
even have to really be. It could be anything that they deem to be, embarrassing or whatever. I mean, a kid could do something that's just completely normal, and they're all,
And-
"Are you fucking loser?"
And not everyone knows about it. It's stored in there forever. So it's like,
Right. Once it's got an electronic signature,
Yeah.
that's what I've tried to tell my son too. I'm like, dude, that crap chat and all that. I'm like, like I don't know if the comedian Chris D'Elia, who was a great comedian, but he liked younger women. And I'm trying to remember which state it was that he was playing, but it was a place where the age of consent was 17.
Okay.
And there was a lot that went on between him and this girl. And I mean, in watching the interview,
Yeah.
he didn't understand because it was all the communication was with Snapchat.
Okay.
And so they had him on a podcast, and they informed him that Snapchat didn't go away.
Okay.
And he what? What? No, it goes away.
Yeah. No.
And they're like, no. And they totally set him up. And it was a bad deal for him. I really did feel bad for the. I
Yeah.
mean, I didn't feel bad for him because he made really poor decisions.
Yeah.
But I mean, you shouldn't be. I mean, there's a big difference between being, 30 and 17 and
Oh, yeah.
and being like 40 and 30. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
I mean, there's a. I guess if you want to talk about flattening the curve, like
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, in most places, that's a felony
Yeah.
if you're 30 and she's 17.
Oh my
and I
God,
don't know
yeah.
why. I don't know why you would even want to mess with a
No.
girl that age at 30 anyway. I mean,
It's messed
I mean,
up. It's like
there's no,
yeah, it's like-
there's no. I mean,
it's like
it-
talking to a girl. That's
Yeah,
how I look at it. It's
yeah,
like,
exactly.
Why on earth would you want
It's
to
like
talk
you
to a
look at-
17-year-old girl?
right? You'd look at it at that. Oh, there we go. Clickaroo.
There we go.
I wonder if we're back up and running or if we got cut off. Hopefully this is coming through, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know. We've had a hard time here, and you all know that. Hopefully I'm not just putting us on jackass status here. So hopefully
No.
we're still coming through. If not, I guess we'll dial it in. We're just gonna. Here's the thing. I'm not afraid to embarrass myself.
No.
I don't give a shit.
And this,
If I embarrass myself, I
Yeah.
embarrass myself. I'm just gonna keep doing it because I love doing this.
Yeah.
Ricardo, you love
Oh my
doing
God.
this, and it's one of the. I mean, it's a high point of the days.
You have no idea how much I look forward to coming over here.
And
talk
it's,
to you, 'cause it's
I know, and I love it because at first when I told you about it, you were just really standoffish
Yeah.
and kind of you're like looking at me like, who's this? I mean, the look on your face, you were like,
yeah.
huh?
You want me to come and record a
Yeah.
podcast? It's like, I don't know.
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
And then I decided to come.
I
And then,
well, I just don't. Like
Yeah.
I said, I said you have a story to tell, and you did, and you still do, and you still. Yeah, I mean, your story is incredible, man, and that's.
Thank
I
you.
mean, I saw that in you. I was like, there's something, there's something that you need to talk about here. Not like therapy
No.
or anything like that, but I mean, it's a great. I mean, your story is. I mean, for one thing, anybody that's going through the same type
Yeah.
of thing that you went through, to hear your story and see where you've come out on the other end of it and see the transformation that you've
Oh,
made, mentally, spiritually, I mean, I think that from what you've told me
Yeah.
in the short time I've known you, that your mindset and your outlook on life has completely changed.
Oh yeah.
It's completely, you've done like a 180,
Yeah.
and, you were living a life that was full of materialistic,
Yeah.
goals and needs and status symbols and this and that and the other thing, and afterwards you realized, you know what, none of that shit matters.
No, it doesn't make
And-
a single difference.
And that's the thing, man. I mean, there's a couple things that matter in life, and that's like, the people that you've loved, those that love you,
Yeah.
and what have you learned?
Yeah. And it's funny because we were supposed to stay in Cody for 5 days, and now it's 5 years and a half later.
Isn't it
we're
crazy
still
how
here.
that shit
Yeah.
works out? It's
Yeah.
crazy. Life is crazy like that, man. You go and do something that you think is just, it's like,
Yeah.
I'm just going to go. And then all of a sudden, boom, you're like,
And not only
There you are.
that, but it's like in 6 months, my wife will be done with graduate school, and then we'll be looking for a place of our own and
Yeah.
just build our house. And
yeah, that's awesome, man.
yeah,
I mean,
it's like,
and really right
if
now,
you had told me 5 years ago, like, you're going to stay in Cody, Wyoming, I'd be like,
can you imagine if somebody had told you when you were a child in Mexico City that you would be
Oh
living
my
in
God.
Cody, Wyoming, and
no.
that you'd have a family
I'd be like,
in Cody, Wyoming,
it's like, where is that in the map?
working at Walmart?
Yeah, it's like, no.
You'd be like, Wyoming?
Yeah,
Where the hell is it?
exactly.
I mean, that'd be just like somebody telling me as a kid. It's like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
you're gonna be you're gonna be living in Mexico City. when you're-
now it's
I'd be
like-
what?
Now it's like I went over to the courthouse today to sign Elena's papers, and the courthouse lady knew me from working at Walmart in the liquor store. So
Yeah.
she's like, yeah.
Yeah.
And she's
Oh,
like,
that's
I'm
awesome.
coming a couple times, and she's like, you're great. And I'm like, okay. It's like,
Well, thank you.
yeah,
That's awesome. No, man, that's life is crazy, man.
yeah,
It's just weird. You never know where it's gonna go. You never you don't know what turns
Yeah.
and you don't know the people that you're gonna meet. I mean, like I mean, really, if you look at things like you and I shouldn't have ever even
No.
probably met and be friends, but here we are. Here we are.
and it's like the best decision I could
Yeah,
have made
here we
that
are,
day.
man. Yeah, and we have a great time, and
Yeah,
I enjoy the shit out of all our conversations. I don't know,
Oh,
if
yeah.
and I don't really care if anybody else does or
No.
not. But guess what?
but guess what? In like
Either you do
a
or you
year,
don't.
we're
Yeah.
gonna be down in Mexico, and
Right, and that's gonna be fun.
yeah,
That's gonna be a great time. man. Oh boy, that'll be better than Tijuana.
yeah, oh yeah,
Oh God,
no,
I never want to go. I'll never go there again.
no, I swear it'll blow.
If I ever have if I ever have a cocktail waitress with tequila holsters come up and
No.
whistles and shake the shit out of me and then dump tequila down my throat ever again,
No.
I don't ever want to go to that place again.
No, and it'll blow your mind because I think I'm getting together like a small crew.
Yeah,
I've got a couple of friends down there. One used
people
to be
that
my,
you stayed in touch with.
One used to be my driver
Oh, okay,
when I was growing up, so I think you're gonna have a good conversation with him.
you had a driver.
Yeah,
Wow,
see,
That's-
it's just
that-
fucking crazy that I had a driver. It's like,
that's crazy. You had your own personal Uber.
yeah,
Your
Yeah.
own Uber driver. Wow, that's pretty cool.
and
That'd be crazy.
Another
I had a driver. It was called a 1983 Huffy. All right, Huffy, here we go.
But yeah, I guys are one of them is like my old driver, and another one is like my old best friend in Mexico.
Yeah.
So it's
Oh,
gonna
that's
be
cool.
time to hook up with them, and then just
Oh, that'll
go
be
to-
fun.
do some crazy shit.
Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to it. I just want to eat a lot of tacos. I want to
Yeah.
drink some good tequila and some you know some good beer.
Yeah, for sure.
I'd drink some beers, especially down there.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I've
Have-
always
Have you ever tried the Noche Buena beer?
no.
They
You were telling me
only
about
make
it.
that
Yeah,
beer in December. Like
Yeah, you were
November,
telling me
December.
about it.
Yeah, it's great.
because I think we were talking about it. Like you're saying that you could
Yeah.
possibly order it.
Yeah,
Can you order it?
yeah,
Really? And it comes out in December.
yeah.
We should order some.
For
And how
sure.
is it very? I'm sure it's expensive.
Not really.
Really?
Not for Mexican beer prices, but
Oh, I'd be down for that.
yeah.
Yeah, because I've always liked. I've always liked.
I mean, you like the Peroni beer.
Yeah, the Peroni's good. And I've always liked Negro Modelo.
Yeah.
Not really a big fan of Corona Pacifico,
No.
but you know, the Negra and then the Modelo, of course. Dos Equis is okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying. There's another one. I want to say it's like Estrella or something
Yeah.
like that they sell at Dodger Stadium. And
Yeah.
we would drink those when we go to Dodger games.
Yeah.
And then we get the the micheladas.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
my
God.
God, those are so good.
Oh God, and yeah, shout out to Omar at Takanazo down there in Bell.
Yeah, because they just
He-
add
he-
lemon and
yeah.
salt and then the beer, and it's
Yeah, Omar's place. His parents were like the first ones to start the fish tacos,
Yeah.
right? And so I've gotten Omar's Dodger tickets one time, and it's funny because Josh and I have been out fishing all day, and we weren't planning on going to the game that night, and
Yeah.
we got off the boat after an all day, charter trip, and we had a bunch of fish and everything, and we were just wore out. We stunk like fish, and and Omar calls up Josh and asks if we want the tickets.
yeah.
And Josh looks at me and goes, "You want Omar's ticket?" And I know where the tickets are. They're right by the Dodger dugout on
my God.
on the field level. Like your feet are below the plane. Like
Oh, wow.
you're. I mean, and you've got
Yeah, it's like
you've got
perfect view.
waiters and shit coming down to you. I mean, it's the best seat.
Yeah.
I mean, so we haul ass down there anyway. But Omar's place called Takanazo, and his parents, they were the first ones to do the fish taco.
Yeah.
And they've still got the old restaurant, and then he's got the new one right next to it. But his micheladas, and he won't give out the recipe or anything. But you go in there, man, and you get some ceviche
Yeah.
and a couple of fish tacos and a michelada. Oh my God, absolutely phenomenal, just amazing. And I mean, you can get them at the Dodger game too. The micheladas,
Yeah.
$23.
What?
$23 for a michelada.
That's insane.
This was 3 years ago.
That's fucking nuts.
It's $18 for a beer. Yeah, it's yeah. Be ready to get out your credit card when you,
You
go
know-
to a Dodger game or any any
know,
sporting event. Really,
The beers, the Noche Buenas, that's what it costs, a 6-pack.
really.
Yeah.
Oh, let's get a case. Let's get a case.
Yeah.
We got to get on their website when we get off here.
Yeah.
I need to write that down. Is it Noche Buenas?
No, it's fine.
It says Noche Buenas.
Yeah, but I'll give it to you in a
Oh,
second.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, Sierra Nevada makes one like that too.
Yeah.
I'm trying. I think it's the Bigfoot. Bigfoot.
And
does
and
and
Sam
it's a-
Adams just barely released their Christmas model, so I just bought it because
Yeah.
I had to try it out.
When I lived in Seattle, Pyramid would make a snowcap ale, is what they call
Yeah.
it. The snowcap was a dark beer. Oh god, that shit was like 8.1%. And during the winter,
Oh
you
my
got
God.
basketball season,
Yeah.
and we knew the Sasquatch, the mascot for the Seattle SuperSonics, when they were still
Yeah.
in Seattle, and so
Yeah.
we'd get he had tickets, and so we'd go and oh god, we'd drink those
Oh my
goddamn
God.
snowcap. Oh god,
Yeah.
those things. I mean, yeah, like 8.1%.
it's,
I
like,
mean,
insane.
you just like we're yelling and screaming and carrying on. God, I miss going. I miss
Yeah.
going to sporting events and stuff like that. That like at a big venue. It's fun.
Yeah. But I mean,
I miss
here,
I miss Dodger Stadium, man.
here,
It's
here what
been
do we
too long.
have? It's like Utah.
Yeah,
or
nothing. Yeah, well,
Denver, maybe.
yeah, but even that is to want to go watch the Rockies or
Yeah,
the
Broncos.
the Nuggets or the Broncos.
Yeah.
I love how everybody in this town too. They hate Colorado.
Yeah.
They always talk. They talk shit about the greenies from Colorado, but then they all wear Broncos
Yeah.
shit when football comes around. It's like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
You do understand that Denver's in
Yeah.
Colorado, right?
Yeah.
Like you cuss at the people that are driving
Yeah.
around with Colorado plates,
Yeah.
but then you're wearing the orange and blue, and you know, it's like, what's the deal here?
No.
I mean, it's crazy, man.
See, let me show you. This is what I wear at Walmart. It's like the Ravens.
Oh yeah,
Baltimore
nice,
Ravens.
yeah.
And I swear, there's been a couple people who stopped by the liquor store during the summer, and they were like, "Is that a Ravens jersey or a Ravens face mask?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Oh, I'm from Baltimore," and I'm like, "Great."
Do you remember the Super Bowl 2012?
Oh yeah.
You know, I made a lot of money on that. Made a lot of money on that Super Bowl. I told everybody on the yard I was in prison,
Yeah.
and everybody was betting 49ers in the under.
Oh my
And I
God.
told everybody I was from the moment that it was made known that this is going to be the matchup.
Yeah.
I looked at all the guys in my TV room and I said, I'm going to give you guys a gift right here, and it's going to be Baltimore and
Yeah.
the over. And everybody just went, oh. And I laid off on that with a bunch of the. Oh God, I made a lot. I made a lot of money on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy. And when I've been to Baltimore twice now. I saw the Orioles play the Red Sox.
Yeah.
And then Josh and I went and saw the Yankees play the Orioles.
Okay.
And it was kind of cool driving by because the Ravens play right there.
Yeah.
You know, and then we stayed at, I'm trying to remember the name of the hotel, but it had a bar up it was a Sky Bar.
Yeah.
Oh God, it started with a B, the Lord Baltimore.
Yeah.
We stayed at that hotel, and yeah, you could sit up there at that bar up on top of that hotel and look right down at Camden Yards.
Yeah.
And the first time I went there, man, it was really cool to go in that. That's a really cool ballpark.
No, see, when I was recuperating from the brain injury, I went and watched the Baltimore Ravens play twice
Did you?
with Ed Reed and
Oh yeah,
Ray
Ed
Lewis.
Reed was bad.
Oh
Oh,
my
God,
God.
those guys were just.
yeah, those
Jesus.
were
Could you imagine having one of those guys coming after you?
oh. Holy crap.
Dude, where you just pee your pants
Yeah.
and lay down and just beg for please don't kill me.
Yeah.
Can you imagine having Ray Lewis
Oh my God, no.
carrying a football and I don't care how many crap he did. He'd sit there and do that.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
just
the
get every
whole-
yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Oh my God, it was
Dude,
crazy.
he would get so intense,
Yeah.
man. I was just like, holy shit. I mean, I can't even imagine. Those guys are just
Yeah.
terrifying. Anybody that's in the NFL, really.
Yeah.
Anybody other than punters and kickers, except for like Sebastian Janikowski and, you know,
yeah.
I don't know. But, I mean, anybody else, you're in the NFL, man, I don't care. You're a badass,
Yeah.
you know? I mean, just to even get there.
Yeah.
I mean, the chance of you having a
Yeah.
career-ending
You have to-
injury in not only high school, but then it exponentially
College,
rises
yeah.
in college. And then you look at a guy, what's his name, that played for Miami. That I can't remember. He had that terrible leg break. Oh God, his name escapes me now. He actually came back and made it into the NFL.
Okay.
But he had one of those leg breaks. Oh God, he was a hurricane. I'm surprised you don't know him. I'd have to look it up. I can't. It's just escaping me. But it was an amazing comeback because nobody thought he'd ever play again. It was one of those where the legs just flopping, you know.
Was it?
Oh
Oh
God.
my God.
He made it. He made it into
Yeah.
the league though. He did. He went through the rehab and
Yeah, I know who you're talking
yeah,
about.
it was a terrible. It was almost as bad as like the Joe Theismann leg break. Was it Theismann? Yeah, it was Theismann. It had that leg snap.
Yeah.
That was a bad one.
Hold on, let me see.
Or was it No, it wasn't Broadway Joe. Broadway Joe just got drunk.
It was Ohio State against the University of Miami, but
Yeah, and
yeah.
I the name's right on the tip of my. Anyway, I mean, he was one of the few that, and that's why I think that college football players should be paid.
Yeah.
Because you're literally, I mean, they're like, oh, you get a free education. It's like, you know,
No.
it's like, you get injured. It's like you got to
Yeah.
play D1 football, and you're a standout, and
Yeah.
you're there to, and see, that's the thing is that the NFL uses the NCAA. That's
Exactly.
their farm teams. Like baseball has a farm system where the
Yeah.
guys are getting paid. Like the NFL, just gets to use the NCAA.
Yeah.
And if these guys get hurt or whatever, it's like, fuck you. You're,
Yeah.
you know, and I mean, these guys aren't there to
Oh
go
my
to
God.
these guys are not
It's
there to
so
go to
true.
school. They're
Yeah.
not there to go to college. Some guys are,
Oh,
but a lot of guys are
it
like
is Willis McGahee.
Willis McGahee. That
Yep.
was that
See, I had to look it up because
that
it's
was a
like,
bad. That was a
oh
bad.
my
break.
God, he was.
That was a bad
I
one.
was in the stands in that game.
Were you, I
Yeah.
see? I thought you probably might
Yeah.
be. That's why I brought it up because since you were going to
Yeah.
school, I was wondering if you. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
a bad one.
Yeah.
That was one where you're just like, oh.
Yeah.
I mean, you see those one where it's just like, oh. But you know, you go out there and you put on
Yeah.
the pads, and you know, any given, I mean, any second that can happen to you. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
the average career I think of an NFL player is like 3 years.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
It's
I mean,
not a
that
long-
Miami team, it was.
oh,
They had
God.
Ken Dorsey as quarterback and McGahee and then Frank Gore as another
yeah,
running back.
oh yeah, Frank Gore, yeah,
I'm like,
beast.
yeah.
But you look how long those guys. I mean, you know, guys don't. You have the
But
rarities.
You know something funny about Frank Gore? I took a class with him.
Did you?
Yeah. And he wasn't very smart. I mean,
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
he could run through people.
yeah.
That's what he was there to
But-
do.
But
you know?
I mean, he was actually the nicest guy because he's like,
yeah,
you look at him and you're like, holy shit. That dude is like 6.
yeah,
Six,
big,
and it's
yeah,
like,
just
yeah.
yeah, built like a tank.
And he was super nice
Yeah.
and talked to everyone. And I was like, wait, what is that dude doing in class with me?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
yeah, it's wild, and I mean, I don't know. It's just I just think that those guys should get paid.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they're using their likenesses in video games, and look at how many.
No, but
Look at the
now,
billions-
Now they're going to get paid this year.
That's good.
Yeah.
Just look at the billions of dollars, and then a guy, right? I mean, this dude's eating ramen noodles.
Yeah.
You know, he's trying to stay in shape. I mean, the guy should be getting protein and like,
Yeah.
you know, whatever he needs to, you know, I mean, you know, guys out there just getting his ass whooped.
Yeah.
Not only at practice, but on you know,
Yeah,
on game
every
day.
week.
On game day. And then they're using your likeness, and then you go to a card shop and you sign some autographs for a couple of
And you're
bucks,
in trouble.
and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden, yeah, you're suspended, and you're
No, it's
you know,
bullshit.
it's nonsense. These people, the NCAA is
Yeah.
a bunch of crooks. They're making billions off these dudes.
Yeah.
And they don't give a shit if they get hurt or not. They don't care.
Mm-mm.
Guy gets hurt, whatever.
No.
We got another one over here. And you got guys that are just trying to get somewhere. And you know, I mean, it's like Biggie Smalls says, you know, you're either slinging crack rock or you got a
Yeah.
wicked jump shot. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And unfortunately, I mean, I've always felt like those guys, you know, anybody playing,
Yeah.
you know, anybody in that type of a position should be getting paid. Because your stupid college education really isn't cutting it.
Yeah.
Look at what a college education gets
No.
you. Nothing.
Nothing. Especially because if you count how many players are actually going to make it to, what,
and-
1%?
How many baristas out there across the country
Yeah.
have not only a bachelor's degree but
Masters.
master's degree
Yeah.
and maybe a doctorate? I mean, they're slinging coffee at Starbucks. I mean, maybe they were stupid and went and did gender studies or something like that. But I mean, I know when I
Yeah.
went to college, I didn't know what I was.
No.
I was general education because the only thing I had in mind was to get out of this town. The only thing I had
Yeah.
going for me was I could hit a baseball.
Yeah.
That was it. I could hit a ball with a stick.
Yeah. No. See.
And I mean, I had like a 3.2 GPA.
Yeah.
It wasn't hard, but that still wasn't back then. It
Yeah.
wasn't good enough to get you an academic scholarship because back then it wasn't the whole everybody goes to college thing.
Yeah. No, see,
And-
when I went to Miami, I had a 3.9 GPA.
Oh, jeez.
And then I transferred to BYU. And I switched my major from finance to accounting. And that was the worst mistake I could have
Oh,
made.
God. I can't imagine majoring in accounting.
Because after I
I
switched to BYU.
hated accounting. Just in high school, I hated it.
No, after I
Debits
switched
and credits. And
Yeah.
blah.
No, after I switched to BYU, it took me 2 semesters to realize I was like, what the fuck am I doing?
Oh,
It's like,
God.
so I switched it back to finance, but I mean, I wasted a whole year of my life to.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
God. I can't even imagine. Oh. It takes definitely
Yeah.
a special person to be an accountant.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
And I
to
was
be able
like,
to sit
I'm
there
not
with
that
a
dude. Yeah.
no,
I mean, you
can't-
can tell that I'm not that dude. It's
Yeah,
no.
I can't even imagine doing that. Ugh. One of my roommates in college, he was a business major, and,
Oh my
and you
gosh.
know, and I finally kind of found my niche in creative writing, and you know, we'd be sitting there in our apartment at night, and he'd be working on his, and I go, let me see what you're looking at over there, Bart, you know, and and he'd show me his book, and I'd read like a paragraph. Hand it back to him. I was like,
Yeah.
get out of here, man. I'm over here reading Faulkner, and you're reading
Yeah.
about debits and credits and
Yeah.
a lot of ledgers and this and
Oh
that
my
and the other
God.
fucking thing. I was like, no.
Yeah.
But some people, it
Yeah.
works for them, I mean, my cousin did the same thing. He got a business degree. I mean, it's, I guess that's different than,
Yeah.
they got all these different niches in the,
No, but it's funny because after I switched to finance again, I graduated with my finance degree. I ended up working for a professor at BYU for a couple of years. So
yeah.
and I love that. It's like,
Working at BYU.
well, not that, but working for that professor, yeah.
But you were a follow of
Yeah.
of Joseph, right? To the knees.
Oh my god.
That's what I was thinking about. To the knees. It's like, when am I going to see some knee?
But
Oh my
thankfully,
god.
I moved to Maryland, and then
Oh god.
I suffered a brain injury, and now
Hey
here we
man. Yeah. Hey, life takes you on
are. Yeah,
weird ass. I mean, it's.
and now I
You
am in
just
the
never know.
right place, and looking forward to building our house in Cody, Wyoming, out of all
Right.
places.
Who would have thought, right?
Yeah,
That's crazy, man. I mean, we all have these these visions of grandeur
yeah,
when we're younger. This is what I'm going to do, and you think that you're not going to stray from that.
Yeah.
And then one little
Yep.
decision, one little event, one little and boom,
that
you
you
get
don't even
and
control.
boom, you get. It's
Yeah.
like playing pinball, right?
Yeah,
Like you could sit there and you think that and then that ball hits one little post, and all of a sudden it's like, down the hole it goes, and it's like,
yeah,
shit, there went the high score. But life is the same way, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you just it's kind of like you get shot around, and I mean, nobody really can just say with absolute certainty that this
Yeah.
is what I'm going to do,
no, I
because life is going to show you what you're going to do.
Yeah.
The universe is going to tell you what you're going to do, and you gotta roll with it.
mean, no, I mean, I can honestly tell you, if I had kept my job where I was, working where I was, I would have moved to New York, bought an apartment there. I probably wouldn't have seen my wife
Yeah,
very much. It's like,
right. You'd be in that rat race,
yeah,
walking down those crowded ass streets.
yep.
I mean, I can't even imagine.
No.
I mean, I can't imagine. I mean, here I walk past. When you
Oh,
walk
yeah.
past people here, you look at them.
Yeah,
I try and say hi to almost everybody, unless
Yeah.
they look like or if I know them, then
and
it's
you
like,
know,
yeah,
the
okay.
crazy thing is, like, now it's like when I went to the
but you-
courthouse this morning, it's like the lady's like, I know you. You work in the liquor
Yeah,
store. And I'm like,
yeah. No, I had the same thing today. I had to go in there because
Yeah.
I had to get my tags for my truck,
yeah,
and I was going to do it last week, and then something came up, and I didn't do it. And then today I woke up and I was getting ready to get in the truck, and I was like, oh shit.
yeah,
So I had to get in the other truck to drive, because it was like last year I got pulled
Yeah.
over because I'd gotten my tags. I just forgot to put them on.
yeah,
And I got pulled over, and of course, when I get pulled over, it's a whole rigmarole because they run my everything, and
Yeah,
then so
and
I
it
mean
comes up,
they're
yeah.
already on edge when they get up to the window, and
Yeah.
then I'm trying to play like calm them down, and I had no idea what was even going on, and the cop was yelling at me about how they were green and they needed to be orange or whatever, and I'm like, what?
It's just
And he
the-
kept yelling at it.
yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. I was like, sir, you're concerning me.
Yeah,
I'm like, I was like, are you okay? I'm like,
Yeah.
I need you to be okay. I need you to be comfortable. I'm like, I'm not a threat. I said, I know you followed me. You ran my plates. You know who I am.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not a threat to you.
No.
I said, what I'm going to do right now, I was like, I'm going to reach in my back pocket.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull out my wallet. That's
Oh
all I'm
my
doing.
God.
I said, are you okay with that?
Yeah.
And I just kind of, I had to de-escalate the thing.
Yeah.
And then of course there's like 3 backups show up.
Oh my god.
And that's Cody, Wyoming, man.
Yeah.
You got 3 backups
Yeah.
show up for a guy that gets pulled over because he's got tags that are 5
Yeah.
days expired. However, I know they saw that when they looked it
Yeah.
up that I'd purchased the tags, and then the one little guy, he keeps yelling at me, and I said, "Listen," and I kept, I was called officer, sir, like, "Listen, sir, I understand. I'm at fault.
yeah.
I obviously did not put the tags on the vehicle." I said, my shop is like 300 feet up the road. You're welcome to follow me there. I said, I'm guaranteeing that the tags are sitting there on my workbench.
Yeah.
I said, it was a absentee move on my part.
Yeah.
And the guy kept yelling at me, "Well, it's your responsibility." I was like, "We've established that. I understand.
Yeah.
That. It's my
screwed up.
responsibility. I understand, and I apologize, and
Yeah.
You know, I'm trying. I mean, because it doesn't do any good to
Oh
be
my
a
God.
dick. I've watched so
Yeah.
many people just be an asshole to, you know, and then it's like, guess what?
Well,
Now you're in the
it's
back
just-
of the car in
It's
handcuffs.
just blowing my mind that they give you the lower treatment just because you were a felon. It's like,
Right. And well, and then to, you know, I mean, there is no place on the planet
No.
where you would have that many backups show
Yeah.
up for a guy getting pulled over for out of date tags.
it's
I drove
crazy.
around the West Coast with no tags for
Yeah.
10 years without a driver's license.
Yeah.
And then when I'd get pulled over, I'd talk my way out of it. I mean, I don't know how many times. They're
Yeah.
like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, here's my give them my license." They're like, "This is expired by like 8 years." They're like, your tags are expired. You know, you even have any insurance?" I'm like, no, you know.
Oh my God.
You know, and then they'd go, well, "What the?" I mean, most of the time they were just like, "We don't what." I'm like, "I'm sorry,
Yeah.
you know, can I go?" I don't know how many times that happens. It's like, yeah, get the hell out of
Yeah.
here, you idiot. You know, they're like, I could tell they're like, "We don't even want to deal with this dumpster fire."
Yeah.
It's like, just get the fuck out of here and
It's
don't
like-
don't let us see you again.
It's like, just get safely home.
Oh,
That's it.
yeah.
It's like, just
Oh God,
out.
I had it happen when I was going from Seattle down to Vegas, and I, little tiny town, and I pulled off because there was a gas station that had a Subway, and I was hungry, and I'd always stop there. It was like in Centralia,
yeah.
and I pull in, and I come around the corner of the front, and I see 2 highway patrolmen there. It's like, at that point, I'm not gonna just. I mean, I've got,
Yeah.
you know, I've got Wyoming plates that are expired. You know, I've got long hair, big beard. I got a dog sitting up front. The dog has a bowl of beer in front of her. I've got an open beer sitting there, you know, and I'm like, well, shit. I was going in to get another 6-pack and a
Yeah.
sandwich, you know, and I go in there and, you know, I got like a Hawaiian shirt on,
Yeah.
you know, like wearing Birkenstocks,
just
just
grungy.
grungy looking fucking 20-some-year-old, you know,
Yeah.
they're just like, you know.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, I got to sell it. So I go in, and the first thing I just went back and got a 6-pack, and you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Went and ordered a sandwich from the guy that you know those gas stations where you got
Yeah.
the guy, like the guy makes the sandwich, he turns the gas, he does
Yeah.
it all, right?
Yeah.
Especially like those ones that have like a KFC
Oh, yeah.
and a Taco Bell or whatever. You
That
got
is
the
the
same
poor
guy doing it. Yeah.
Oh my
So,
God.
it's the guy. So I go
Yeah.
up and I just tell him, I'm like, I'm in no hurry. I'm like, you know, and I made sure to say it out loud. I'm like, I'm going to see my brother. I've never been out here before. So where's your road maps at, you know?
Yeah.
And he pointed me, and I went over there, and the officers, they're sitting there looking at me, and I'm like, how are you doing? You know, and they're like, fine, you know, and
Yeah.
I'm like, you know, and I said, oh, yeah, I've never been out here before. It's beautiful. You know, I started talking to him,
Yeah.
you know, and everything was cool, man. And then I get on the road, and
Yeah. They pull you, oh my God.
you know, and then they're like, you know, but it was cool because we developed a rapport, and I was
Yeah.
respectful, and they're like, so you're going to see your brother, but you don't have a driver's license, your tags are expired, you don't have any
Yeah.
insurance. And I mean, had they known what I had in the back of the truck, and I drove away.
Good.
Then I drove away, and it was fine. Everybody was happy. You know, there was no ticket, no warning,
Yeah.
no nothing. They're just like, all right, enjoy your trip to see your brother.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh. But I mean, that shows you sometimes when
Yeah.
you just, I guess,
Just get
when you,
outsmart them.
well, and when you just
Yeah.
go up and talk to people too, regardless of whether it be
Yeah.
a you know, an officer or whatever. I mean, because I meant nobody any harm.
No.
I just didn't have a license, or I mean, and what the fuck, man? I mean, the driver's
Yeah.
license is so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had one moving violation and I'm 45 years old.
Yeah.
And I was trying to pass a guy that was swerving, and I went up over a hill in Montana, and I was doing 84 and an 80, and I got a ticket,
my
I got
God.
$10 fucking ticket. I mean, you know, I mean, the driver's license, and
Yeah.
it's just the government. It's the governor getting his cut.
Yeah.
Is all it is. They just want their money.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to have a license to fish. I mean, isn't like the right? I mean, shouldn't that be like a God-given right?
Yeah.
If one were to believe in God,
Oh my God.
you know, to like be able to go fishing
Yeah.
and not have to pay the governor
Yeah.
to get your little your conservation
Oh
stamp,
yeah.
and then your piece of paper. And then when you're out there fishing, you got the game warden come up
Yeah.
and checking on you.
Oh my god.
I
That
mean, it
happened
drives
to
me
and my
nuts.
father-in-law
They do
once.
it.
Yeah.
I haven't done a lot of fishing in the last couple of years, but I mean, when I first got out, I was fishing like, every time I had a chance, and it would be the same guy come up and
Yeah.
and I knew he knew my name, I knew his name, and he would still ask
Yeah.
to see it, and I'd be like in the water, fly fishing, and it's like, dude,
Yeah.
what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here? What
Yeah.
kind of fucking haberdashery is this where we play this game every fucking
Yeah.
time you see me? You know my name. I know your name. You
Yeah.
know I have a fucking license. You've fucking seen it
Yeah.
however many times. And they still want to see it. It's like, you know.
See, it happened back in 2017, the first time. And that's because I had just barely moved to Cody. So, I mean, I understand why they want to see it then. Because
Right.
they're like, hey,
Sure.
They talk to my father-in-law. They're like,
Yeah.
we know you, but we don't know him.
Right.
So we just want to find out who he is.
Right. And that's, but, my point is, I think on the
Yeah.
whole thing is that, like, you're a human being on this
Yeah.
earth. The fish are in the water.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to eat,
Yeah.
right? Like, let's take it down to like the base level of this whole idea here. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, why do you
Yeah.
need to have a license to go eat?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to have a license to go to Burger King.
No.
Well, if you're going through the drive-thru, I guess you do.
Oh my God.
But I mean, to go into a Burger King and eat,
Yeah.
you don't have to have a license. You don't have to show them a license to be in a McDonald's, but yet you want to go out and catch yourself a fish. I mean, I think as a human being, you should have
Yeah.
the right to do that.
Oh yeah.
You want to go shoot a deer to feed your family, you should
Yeah.
be able to do that. Okay, sure. Some ignorant fucks take advantage of it and they go out poaching
Yeah.
and shit like that. Well, guess
Which is
what?
fucked up. But
It is, but you know what? That's going to take care of itself in the long
Yeah.
run too, without government, because the people that are trying to eat and feed their family are going to get sick and tired of these
yeah.
poachers, and they're going to do something about it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I agree.
it's just the whole idea that you have to have a license to do
Everything,
fucking
yeah.
or a piece of paper, or
It's like with Elena today. We had to tramit her passport, otherwise we're not allowed to go to Mexico.
right, yeah,
It's like,
with a baby,
yeah.
she's got to have a passport.
We have the passports for Andrew and Javi, but it's like if she doesn't have her
Why do your
passport-
kids need a passport anyway? I mean, they're kids.
Yeah.
What the hell? I mean,
have
it's
no
so
idea.
dumb.
Yeah.
But then you have people coming over in droves
Oh, yeah.
through the border.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
I mean, you've got a crisis of unimaginable proportions
Yeah.
going on down there. That Slow Joe.
It started. Yeah.
I saw him the other day, he's like, I've been to the border. I
Yeah.
know it well.
When?
And then it was like 2008. He drove
Yeah.
through Texas.
No, that doesn't count.
It's like, dude, driving through Texas
It's
doesn't
not.
mean you went to the border,
Yeah.
especially in 2008.
Yeah.
And especially now after you made the
Yeah.
said that anybody's welcome to just
Yeah. And
come
then
on.
all the Haitians came.
Did you hear they're talking about giving each family member that was separated from their family at the border $450,000 a
Wait,
piece. $450,000 a piece.
Why?
That's a reparation.
Oh, fuck that.
$450,000. So
And I
you
came
got
here
people
legally, and they don't give me shit. It's like,
right. And if let's say your family member is shot and killed in a war, right?
Okay.
Say in where Afghanistan, Iraq, whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
You lose a family member, and the government pays you $100,000. You migrate here illegally, and you get $450,000, almost $500,000. And people in this country, the citizens, are growing poorer by the day.
Yeah.
Inflation is growing higher and higher and higher, and it's not going to
insane.
stop. There's
Yeah.
no roof to it right now. It's
No.
going to turn into hyperinflation. I've been
Yeah.
calling this for over a year, and nobody's wanted to listen to me, and I'm still sticking to that. It's going to get bad, and so you basically commit, and I'm not going to, I really don't have like animosity or any hatred
Yeah.
towards people
No.
that are trying to better their lives and come across the board. I mean, honestly,
No,
I
but
don't.
if
I
they do
don't.
it the right way, like
Right.
the way I did it. It's
Sure, and I can understand people that are in situations where they need to get it, but I mean, it's all run by the cartel.
Yeah.
Even on this side of the wall, it's
Yeah.
run by the cartel. I mean, it's a crazy deal, man. And I mean, I feel for anybody that's trying to get to a better place in life,
Yeah.
you know? And I think they should be able to do that. And I think there should be a better path to citizenship here.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. I mean, it has to happen the correct way. I mean, I understand if you're seeking asylum because you're in a situation that
Yeah.
you just have to get out of.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sure, that's that. I mean, you know, and I know that there are people.
But I mean,
but
having so many thousand people crossing the border every
well, and
day
then a
is
lot
like-
of the Haitian, a lot of the Haitian
Oh my God.
nationals that are coming up, they've been in Brazil working
yeah,
this whole time. And from what I understand and what I've seen, I mean, they're coming across the border, and I mean, these guys are these people. They're wearing, you know, new clothes. They got nice watches. They're like these are not
yeah,
these are not asylum seeking individuals. They're looking to take advantage of a situation, and quite frankly, I don't even understand. I mean, what? I mean. I don't know. And we're the only country that allows this type of thing
Yeah.
to happen. I mean, you can't go. I mean, like,
No,
I'm not allowed to go to Canada.
yeah,
And I mean, you can't just go and just to any other country.
no,
I mean, and we're supposed to. I mean, the whole idea of borders is kind of a goofy.
Yeah.
That's a kind of that's something
my
I think about a lot too. It's like, you know, who's to say this is our land? This is your, especially
Yeah.
when it's land that we've taken from the people that are crossing over.
yeah. But it's
But
still
you
they should
can't
still
just
respect the land. It's like
well,
I
and you
don't know.
can't just have an influx of people like
No.
that either. And
No.
what they're doing with these, I mean, it's a crisis.
Yeah,
And it's not just a crisis for the United States, but it's for all the people.
Oh,
that,
yeah.
It's for the migrants as well. I mean, it's no good for anybody.
I mean, and
You
when
know?
they sent the kids alone earlier this year, it's like, what-
And they just busted today. I saw in Florida they busted 102 people they arrested on this sex trafficking ring, and the majority of the females that were being trafficked, basically being pimped out or whatever, were illegals. And to call a person illegal, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm on the fence about what you. I mean, it's like undocumented as
Yeah.
illegal, whatever. They're here
without,
illegally.
yeah,
Now, it's kind of weird to say that here's this line right here, and
yeah,
as being I kind of happen to feel like we're all citizens of the earth
yeah.
as human beings, and who's to
It's
say
just
this
because you were
line?
born over there. that-
Yeah, it's like if I cross this line and I'm respectful towards your home and
Yeah.
and you know your belongings and your family, and I don't do anything to cause any harm, why can't I just walk wherever I want to
Yeah.
walk? You know, I don't understand. I mean, that's it, I guess it's one of those kind of
yeah.
things that I try and wrap my head around it, because it's just kind of crazy to say.
No.
I mean, it's like the Wyoming Colorado border, right? I mean, you can go down there and you can smoke all the weed you want.
In Colorado.
But you cross that imaginary line, and you have any of that with you,
Yeah.
woo,
You're going to jail.
woo.
Yep.
It's an imaginary line. It doesn't. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, so it makes you wonder. It's like what's
Yeah.
what purpose does the state necessarily serve? Because
No.
to be, I mean, within 250 yards, within 2 feet
Yeah.
of that border,
And
you
you're
can
safe on
go
that
from
side.
sitting there and smoking all the plant that you want to all of a sudden you're arrested for a plant.
Yeah.
For a plant.
It's fucking
A
crazy.
plant. And that's what we're wasting our taxpayer dime on? A plant?
Yeah.
Come on. I mean, how stupid is that?
yeah.
I mean, it doesn't get
It's
more
fucking
stupid
crazy,
than that. It's
no.
idiotic, man. It's just crazy. And we've, this is our design. This is the best we can do. This is our
Yeah.
best thinking as human
No.
beings.
Fuck no.
Fucking sleep. that's our best thinking got us here. We're
Oh
like
my God.
fucking alcoholics, man.
Ugh.
Like just fucking doing the same thing. We do the same thing over and over and expect different results.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm sick of the fucking Democrats. Let's vote Republican this time. Oh boy, we got fucked over on this one. Let's go back to the
Yeah.
Democrats.
And it's
Just like you just
back
keep
and
doing this.
forth.
It's like alcoholic fucking. It's like a stepchild of a fucking alcoholic father.
Yeah.
You just.
Yeah.
I mean, until people wake up and realize how stupid we are.
Yeah.
We are so fucking stupid. I mean, to have these imaginary lines and it's like
It doesn't matter. It's
it
like,
shouldn't. But
Yeah.
the sad thing is it
yeah,
does.
it does. Yeah.
I mean, think about that and the stupidity of that. You can be in Colorado, And if you're on foot,
Yeah.
you could stand there and smoke a joint and take one step and still be
goes
holding
the
on
way
that
of it.
joint
Yeah.
and boom,
Yeah.
you're going to jail, pal.
Yeah.
You're going to jail.
Yeah.
I took a step. I took one step. I mean,
Yeah.
legitimately within the constraints of the law.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a. I mean,
I know.
I'm pushing it to the limit with
No,
that. I mean,
I know.
that's a hypothetical going to the very edge of, obviously, what's probably not happened.
Yeah.
It probably won't happen, but it could.
Yeah,
in
it
theory.
could. Yeah.
I mean, legally, that could happen, right?
Yep.
How stupid is that? For a plant.
Yeah, it's
A plant.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody that's ever
No.
done anything. I mean, I
No,
I don't smoke pot anymore. I used to, and
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
used
but I
to
never did anything stupid. I'd eat more Doritos, man.
Yeah.
You know, and laugh at the,
Yeah.
watch movies and laugh and go to sleep.
Yeah.
I never did any. I mean, it's like, my
my
problem
God.
was always, drinking too much and
Yeah.
then getting dumb and doing stupid shit.
Exactly. That was my problem.
But that's
too.
okay.
But
but that's all right.
I did smoke pot as well, and it's like
Yeah.
it never did anything to me. It's like
Yeah, I mean, I never watched any. I've never seen anybody just like
no.
do anything like. I've never seen anybody smoke pot and go rob someplace or
No.
or do anything other than like maybe drive too slow,
Yeah.
doing 25 and a 35, getting honked at. Whoa, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't
And
know.
that's
It's-
it. It's
Yeah,
like,
it's crazy, and it's a number one schedule. It's on the DEA list. It's scheduled as a Schedule 1 narcotic.
Oh my god.
Crystal meth and cocaine, I think, are Schedule 2.
What?
Marijuana is Schedule 1. Why
Yeah,
in the
if
hell
you
is that?
smoke it in Colorado, it's legal, but
Right. Well, the reason that's that way is because, well, number one, the race plays a part in that,
yeah.
and then DuPont, the printing press. I mean, there's a lot of things that are involved. And it's funny because here in Wyoming, we think of ourselves as being like a freedom-loving state, like
Yeah, no.
mind your business and shit. we're gonna be the last state to legalize marijuana.
Yeah.
A plant.
Yeah.
A plant. A plant. They're all Christians, right?
no,
God made
look-
everything,
Yeah,
right?
no, but
I mean,
look at me. I'm 100% for legalizing pot because it's like
I don't even think it should. Well,
it's like what the. It's not gonna do anything
it
to anyone.
shouldn't
It's
be
like,
legalized.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be legalized because it should never have been illegal in the first place.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, the first flag was made out of hemp. The first flag was made from hemp. Abraham Lincoln smoked pot.
Yeah.
I mean, George Washington did.
Yeah.
I mean, hemp was the first cash crop. Hemp, and then comes tobacco, which in its pure form is not. But when you go and buy a pack of major brand cigarettes, you're inhaling like over 400 carcinogens
Yeah.
in one cigarette. I mean, arsenic and cyan, whatever the hell they put in those. I mean, I'm so glad I quit that shit. That
Yeah.
was the dumbest habit I ever
Yeah.
even start. I mean,
And same here.
I look back on bad decisions I made, and that was, I think, at 11 years old, I picked up a cigarette, and
Yeah.
that was like the dumbest thing I ever did.
Yeah.
It took me, it took me the better part of 30 years to put those things down. And and I mean, like my great grandfather, I'm trying to remember how he lived to be old, and I think he started smoking at like 8, but it was roll your own, and it was
Yeah.
real tobacco. It was just tobacco.
Yeah.
Now, the tobacco plant does, when you burn it, it does break down into carcinogens and different things, but not like
Yeah.
a Marlboro,
like-
a
yeah.
Marlboro. Jesus Christ, they've got like over 400 chemicals.
Yeah.
I should look that up and see exactly what. It's bad.
And what's crazy is that Marlboro sells like 50 different kinds of cigarettes.
Well, and
It's
it's what it is. It's a socially acceptable form
Yeah.
of suicide. Really.
but again, it's like, what's the difference between a menthol and a regular one, or a regular one and a light? It's like nothing.
I don't. Personal preference.
Yeah.
How bad you want your
Yeah.
breath to stink. How bad you want your
Yeah.
clothes to stink. How yellow you want your fingers.
Oh my god.
I got yellow nails and emphysema. What do you got? What was it Dice that said, I've been smoking since I was 13 and my lung feels great? I mean, I can't even
Yeah.
imagine taking it at this point. I mean, I
No.
smell it and it's just
Yeah.
But
I'm the
I,
same
but
way.
I mean, back in the day, man, I used to smoke like a, I'd smoke a pack a day at least.
Yeah,
Especially working construction all day, man. Just I always had.
yeah,
I mean, I just light one and just leave it hang out until the thing would
yeah,
burn out, and I just spit because
yeah,
I
and
always
then
had my
hang
hands on
another
a
one.
hammer and a nail. I mean, I wouldn't even take the thing out of my. It just let it hang out.
Oh
Thing
my
would
God.
die out, and you'd taste the butt, and
Yeah.
and then most of the time, yeah, I had a big old chew in too. It was like, what a bunch of idiot.
But hey, we both got out of that. So
Right? Yeah, I guess.
Thankfully.
Yeah. And that's why I have a hard time getting on my son about any of these types
Yeah.
of things because I look at my life and I go, well,
Yeah.
I just don't want that for him.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's like that's what has to happen.
No,
is you have
just
to
gotta
go
let
through
them
those things.
experience it, and then
Sometimes, yeah, I mean, like you have to go.
Yeah.
Sometimes, they talk about school hard knocks.
yeah,
Sometimes people don't have to experience that. Sometimes people do.
yeah,
And I mean,
and I mean, it's just crazy. But it's like Andrew, he started wondering why we decided to move to Wyoming, and why was I a Mormon before, and why am I not a Mormon now? And I'm like,
I thought that I thought they still went to the.
oh no, they still do, but
Yeah.
it's like he started asking me questions, and I'm like,
Oh, but why you aren't?
yeah, and I'm like, I'm not sure it's the right time to answer that question. It's
Right.
like, just give it a couple more years, and I'll come up
Right.
with an answer.
Yeah, and that's what it takes too.
Yeah.
And like my son went to Sunday school and stuff with my mom, and I never had a problem with it. She
Yeah.
was always like, "Well, I know you're not religious and blah blah blah." And I'm like, "Listen," I was like, "If he's getting a benefit from it
Yeah.
and he likes going, I
Yeah.
don't have a problem. I'm not
No.
going to sit here and say that he can't go, and I'm fine if he wants to go back. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't care. It's his life. It's his choice. It's his decision.
Yeah.
It's not mine. I'm not here to make those decisions for him. I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here to provide and be somebody that he can hopefully
Oh.
lean back on and
let me say, I'm so proud that my sons came over to visit me on Saturday at the liquor store. They were asking for Halloween. It's the first time that their mom ever brings them there. And obviously, I don't have any candy. It's like,
right. Just give him a couple of those couple airplane shooters. Here's some Jägermeister. Don't show your mom.
but no, but they show up and
Throw
I'm
him a
like,
couple shots of
I
Fireball.
was like, wow. It's like, I guess this is what it feels like to have your family come and visit
Yeah.
you. It's like,
Yeah.
I
And
don't know. It just felt good. It's like, and they came and saw that I do sell it, but it's like, I'm not doing anything. It's like,
yeah, I mean, I don't know. Well, your wife comes from a
Yeah.
LDS family.
Yeah.
Do they have they ever said anything about you working there, taking issue with it or anything? like that?
I think that her mother is a little bit, it bothered her at first, but now it's like, yeah, he just has a job. It's like any other job.
Somebody's gonna do it.
And it's funny because it's like, she knows that I buy alcohol, and it's like,
Yeah,
nowadays it's like, well, whatever.
you're a consenting adult.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not getting in trouble.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like, you can do what you want.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
I mean, at first it was hard on her, but nowadays it's like, whatever.
I think a lot of times people they get so caught up in
Yeah.
in dogmatic
Oh my
trains
god.
of thought that they don't necessarily think about
Yeah.
what it means to be free and what it means to be able to make your own decisions and that you can make decisions that they don't necessarily agree with, but as long as you're not hurting somebody else,
Yeah.
then
Or it's like my wife. I swear, the first time she invited the bishop over to our house,
oh,
she
you
made
had
me.
the bishop at the
She made
house.
me hide every alcoholic drink.
Really?
Nowadays, it's like whenever she invites him, I just leave the drinks out there because it's like,
He probably has one with you.
yeah,
I wouldn't doubt it.
no, but it's like,
I mean,
Yeah.
and I'm not trying to poke fun at
No.
anything because, like I've said this a million times before. I have
yeah,
no issue whatsoever with LDS people. I think that LDS. I think they're really nice, kind people. I
Yeah.
think that they all have good intentions and that they're not trying to hurt anybody. And I don't really. I mean, I do. I mean, I think that they're. I mean, I've honestly, I don't believe I can think of
No.
any Mormons that I know, and I know a lot. I grew up here.
yeah,
I mean, I don't have. A
Oh
lot of
my
people are like, oh, it's a cult and this and that. It's like, well, what is the religion you're involved
And
in with?
did-
It's like what is
Did you
what?
hear that they're gonna build a temple in Cody, Wyoming?
My brain just melted.
Yeah, I swear. I was like, what the? Why
Well,
on earth are they thinking of building a temple in a city of 10,000
they
people?
built a monastery out there. Have you seen that thing?
Yeah.
I mean, who cares?
Yeah.
Whatever. Hey, you want to do it? Doesn't bother. I mean,
No,
I don't care.
It's fine, but
But
it's like,
yeah, it's crazy.
it's like
It's like that's pretty wild.
it's
But
only for 10,000 people. It's like
Yeah.
it's not that many people.
right. But well. But here's the thing, though: is you've got a lot of people that are moving in.
Yeah, that's true.
Like up the North Fork, the Copperleaf
Yeah.
development.